Okay, we're going to work on an InDesign project. This is a very first, really easy, sort of the dumbest, quickest possible way to do an InDesign project, just to get you sort of started with how this all works. So we're going to work on a simple 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We're going to print on the front and the back. So what you want to go ahead and do is go to File, New, Document, and you want to go ahead and select, make sure its letter size is selected. We're going to want to go with 2 pages here. We want to make sure our orientation is landscape. We want to make sure we have 2 columns. That's going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to take the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, print on both sides, fold it in half, and make kind of a simple 4-page, no staple, kind of a handout or brochure. So change your margins from 3-point to 2-point, and then go ahead and click OK. That should bring you to a document that looks something like this, with your kind of gutter in the middle here, and then the 2 panels. And so this side 1, you got to imagine this is the front of your document, this is the back, and then the middle is going to be the spread, and we're going to print on the front and the back pages. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and just kind of take a look around the interface here, and you got to realize that we have the pages thing here. That shows you the palette, that shows you where the 2 pages are. Layers shows you can make layers just like in Illustrator or in Photoshop. Links is all the files that are linked, and then you have all the rest of our various palettes that are here. You'll notice there's a lot less in InDesign than there was in Photoshop or Illustrator. These are the tools, and the tools are all kind of the same sorts of things you'd come to expect from an Adobe product. And up here are the menus. We want to go ahead and click on the rectangle frame tool, and you got to imagine we're going to place something on the back of this document. So we're going to go ahead and just create a rectangle frame, and you'll see the rectangle frame kind of makes an empty box that you can fill with whatever you choose to place in there. So go ahead and make a box that looks something like that, and then go up to Edit, or I'm sorry, File, Place, or it's Command D is the keyboard shortcut. And you want to keep all of your items in a good, solid organizational structure. So I've got all of my files that are going to be placed in this InDesign document over here in a specific folder. And InDesign links files just like Illustrator did. And so if you build your InDesign file and then you delete this folder that has all the images that are linked into the InDesign file, all the links will be broken and there will be trouble. So let's go ahead and pick go ahead and pick an image out, whatever you want to do, and just click OK, and it'll place. And you can see it's placed it right inside that frame that we've made, and it's filled it. And so the black arrow tool allows you to move the whole thing around. So it allows you to kind of, scooch it around where you want it to go. The white arrow tool basically only selects whatever is contained inside of that particular frame. So like if I lift this up, you see it's cut off up there. So you can kind of reframe or resize your image that you're placing in there. Again, always hold down Shift if you want to constrain your proportions, or else it'll go kind of crazy on you. So if this looks pretty good, you can go ahead and change that. If you want to resize the box itself, you can always click on the box and just do that, and it will cut it off. But for now, let's just go ahead and go with that. So you got to imagine this is the back, this is the front. So let's put some text on the front of our document. And so if you click over here, you can see all the tools that are set up. We've already talked about this selection tool, the direct selection tool, white arrow, black arrow, page tool, gap tool. There are all these things on here. The main one that you'll use most of the time is still going to be the type tool. You might use the pen tool a bit, and you might use the rectangle frame and rectangle, oval, ellipse, all that kind of stuff here. So let's just grab the type tool, and if you click and hold, you'll see there's a whole bunch of options there. But let's just create a type box. And so if you click and drag like this, that'll give you a box that your type will fill. So if you wanted to type copy, you could just fill it up here just like we would do with type in Illustrator or something like that, and it'll fill it up. But for today, let's go ahead and delete that out, and we'll just type something in, like, just to give us a sense of what's going on. So just like in Illustrator or Photoshop, you can select, highlight your type, and then you can change it. So I'm going to change the typeface, and if you look here, there's a million different typefaces that are available in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and search for Helvetica just by typing Helvet, and it'll find it for me. So I'm just going to click Helvetica Bold, and then I can always resize it or make it bigger by doing this. One of the cool things that InDesign will give you is it gives you the ability to really change your typeface. So to really let you kind of tweak it. So there's this thing called kerning that if you want to, you could change the kerning in between these letter forms and try to make it so that it's a little bit closer together. So if you hold down Command Option, you can see how you can shift this back and forth. Hold down Shift, Command Option, that'll highlight things. Control Option Command, that'll do other stuff. So there are all these different keyboard combos that you can do to kind of change around the way that the kerning works. But you can definitely sort of play around with the typeface there and change it. There are all these settings up here that you guys can play with, but you might want to look at kind of adjusting your type so that it looks better or worse depending on what you're kind of after. So, all right, so we could change our typeface color by highlighting it again, and then clicking up here, and it'll let you change it to red or something like that. Again, you have all the options over here in the color picker, just like you normally would. You can change this to CMYK color, and it'll give you all those colors. There's swatches and everything else. We'll get more advanced with that as we go. So if this was my front page, so this would be the front page, this would be the back. Now I just want to go to my spread. So this would be the center part as I unfold it. So this would be one big image, and let's just place another object in there, and I'll go ahead and make another frame that kind of fills in this area. I'll hit Command D, and I'll go in here and I'll find something that's kind of big. So there you go, that would be perfect. Click OK, and I'll just place that in there, and you can see that it's huge, that it's not fitting in there correctly. So if you click on the Control with the white arrow tool, it'll give you all these options in here. And one of the things that you can do is you can fit. So if you go to Fit, Fit Content to Frame, so that would be fit the image into the frame that we've built for it. And it should zip that back in there and kind of place it the way it's supposed to so that it fills. You can also resize it. Again, if I wanted to resize this further, I could just grab the white arrow tool and play around with it this way. But what I'm going to do is just try and make this thing, just going to try and shift it over here just enough so that when I fold it, the spread looks good. You can see my box, my bounding box is still cutting off this area. If I expand it out, you'll see more of that detail in there, but I just kind of want to get rid of it down here. Okay, so now I could add text, I could add type, you can do anything that I would like to in here. You can add shapes just like you can in Illustrator. These are vector-based shapes, so I can do my fill here and my fill up here if I wanted to make this color. I could make it red, and my stroke, I can change the stroke and all the stuff that you're used to seeing. I can also draw with the pen tool and do the things that you're used to doing that way in Illustrator. So all these different options. Most of the time people do their graphic work in Illustrator and Photoshop and then bring it into InDesign and place it. But once you get your image done and it's set and it's the way you want it to be, you can lay out all the different components you've been asked to do in the assignment. You can double check everything and then just want to go ahead and obviously save it. If you go to your links palette, you'll see that here are the objects, the things that we've linked to. So there's this one and there's this one, and those are linked back to that folder where they're saved. I can embed these things by clicking over here and embedding it. That'll just make the file size really big. I can also edit the original. I can edit this thing with any of these installed pieces of software. So if I want to adjust a color, I can go back in there and edit that. I can also click on this little pencil button, and that'll take me to Photoshop and let me edit it. So it gives you all the info you need for all your different links, where they are. But again, you want to keep your files organized above all else. So go ahead and just save it. So go to File, Save As. Pick a place where you want to place it, where you want to save it, and click Save. And then once you get that set, then you just want to go ahead and try and think about how you're going to print this, obviously. And you want to save throughout the process as well. But if you go to your go up here to the print options, you can click on print and just print straight from this, and we're just going to have it print both sides on an 8.5 by 11 in color. You have to make sure that they're flipping around the right way, so you may have to adjust some settings in there to make sure that they're not going opposite one another in terms of up and down. But you could send it through your printer this way. But another way to think about doing it would be to go to File, Export, and you can select your your Adobe PDF, your EPS. There's all these different things you can save this as a JPEG if you want to. So I would say go ahead and save it for an Adobe PDF. Click Save, and then it should give you some options for whether you want to do it high quality print, smallest file size. Probably for our purposes, you want to go high quality print, and just hit Export. And that basically just packages the whole thing as a portable document format, PDF, which allows you to go ahead and open this up on any of our software packages and kind of a Macintosh, PC, whatever you have. It'll let you open it up and print it and look at it, and this kind of packages the whole thing together, including your linked files. So that's our basic sort of two-page folded cheesy little InDesign project. That's a great training exercise. So you want to set yours up and lay it out in a way that looks really good, and then you'll be ready to go with the final project. So good luck with all the work. Have a great time.